Hey guys, welcome back to FAM Sports New England Patriots. So today I want to kind of go over a player that we picked up in the 4th round. I think he was a huge steal for New England. He really rounds out the receiving room, and that player is Javon Baker. Javon Baker played his first 2 years at Alabama, then went on to UCF where he really caught stride and absolutely killed it at UCF. I don't think it was because of the competition, because he was seeing a safety over the top and more double coverage than he was in Alabama. I think it was just that's where he progressed, and that's where he actually blossomed, was at UCF. And I think he was a steal at in round 4. Now, I do think this receiver is kind of like a Larry Fitzgerald, Devontae Adams type hybrid where, and I know Devontae Adams is a stretch right now. He's a rookie, but he's a crisp route runner. He runs routes, probably one of the better route runners in the wide receiving room, and sure-handed. I think he's going to really round that out, where you have Polk now starting to stretch the field, at least in the OTAs right now, during the training camp. He's been stretching the field a little bit more than what you'd see. Now, Javon Baker is perfectly capable of stretching the field. I mean, he averaged 21.9 yards per catch at UCF his senior year with 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, over those 7 touchdowns, a lot of them did come out of the red zone. So what I'm seeing is he has the capabilities of stretching the field, but I don't know if that's where the Patriots are going to use him, and I don't know if that's where his strong point is. If you're a good route runner in the NFL, you think of Devontae Adams, you think of Larry Fitzgerald, because they're sure-handed and they're going to beat you off the routes. They don't necessarily have to burn by you. They're going to beat you on the route run. Obviously, the great route runners, Jerry Rice, Chris Carter, those guys weren't the fastest people on the field. And all that tells me is Baker will be around for a long time because of his route running. He's not just a burner. So he's not just going to be like run down the field and chuck it and go. He's going to be one that's actually going to be very beneficial to Drake May, to Jacoby Brissett, maybe even to Milton. You never know what could pan out with all this quarterback stuff. But I think what's going to happen is due to the route running and his possibilities and his sure-handedness in the red zone, he's really going to uptick the red zone and really help us improve that number that's been so bad the last couple of years. Now, I do think that he can stretch the field, so you have to honor that. You're going to have to keep a safety deep, otherwise he will run right past you. So I think that's one thing that he's going to have to do. And with Polk on the other side, or Bourne on the other side, I think it's going to really make it hard for defenses to be able to cover both of those receivers. Pop Douglas in the slot. We went from a really bad receiving room to a really good receiving room in a matter of a draft and a change of guard at head coach. So I do think that our receiving room is well-rounded. I would love to go out and get a Brandon Ayuk or somebody like that, but we don't need it. We're not desperate like we were last year, and we don't absolutely need it. And I think Mayo has put us in a position, at least in that receiving room, where we are able to thrive and compete with other teams. And I would be one to say we probably have the second best receiving room in our conference to Miami. Miami's probably obviously sitting at that 1. I would say we're better than the Jets. We're better than the Bills as far as the receiving room goes. So I do think that we do have a very good, well-rounded receiving room where we have players to stretch the field. We have players to go over the middle. We have those sure-handed players, and Baker's going to be a huge part of that. Now, with Baker, I want you to understand, he played at Alabama, but he didn't, like I said, he only played a total of 18 games at Alabama, averaging, he's only had 116 yards. So Alabama that was his freshman, sophomore year. But when he went to UCF, everything seemed to click and everything seemed to change. He had 96 receptions his junior year for 796 yards. So 796 yards is huge in college. It's a very good receiving number in college. But then he did even better his senior year at, he had 52 receptions for 1139. That's where he averaged 21.9 yards per catch and 7 touchdowns. Now, the year before that, he had 5 touchdowns and he was averaging 14.2. So he was able to stretch the field for UCF. I don't think I want to go back. I don't think the New England Patriots are going to need him to stretch the field. They have that. What they're going to really use him for is that clean, crisp route running. And that's why I think that he completes the receiving room. And that's why I think he's going to be the New England Patriots, kind of mid-grade gem that we should be looking out for. If you have any other players or any other thing or any other people that you think are going to be gems in the New England offense or turn the New England offense around, please leave it down in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more New England Patriot content.